Welcome in from Sunnyvale, California. I'm Mark Vierra. This is a technical analysis video. Goes along with my weekly trading log. I missed last week, but I'm back at HotStockMarket.com. And let's take a look at the week that was. We are flat for the week, still up for the quarter slightly, and slightly down for the month of May. And let's see, this is no buying or selling recommendation. This is just my view on technical analysis. I don't think that technical analysis can see into the future, but it gives me a good clear picture of what has happened and the present what is happening, which quickly moves into the past. So I don't think the past is any guarantee of the future. But technical analysis to me gives me a clear picture and helps me with an educated guess. So I think it's important to see how the story is unfolding. Now, in these videos I like to look at the S&P 500. This is a monthly candle chart here. And this current monthly candle is trading within, the body is within the previous body, and it's trading within the previous candle. I think the focus here is on the closed candle, where it shows us the test of supply, and closing above midpoint to me I think is bullish. So I'm just going to file that back there and go on. Let's look at a weekly chart. First up, just wide lens view. Got some support, resistance, some pivot trend lines. I like to look at trend lines. And zooming in, not much to see here. We just have a flat candle closing above midpoint. I think is slightly bullish. It's really telling me the story here I'm seeing, combined with a monthly candle, is indecision. See a sideways. The range is kind of tightening in here. Get into volume. Sometimes I look at moving averages and fibs. Right now, all the intermediate to longer term moving averages, I don't think there's much to see there. They're rising. What else you want to see? I don't think moving averages are that important. Chart patterns are just background information to me. I think the foreground information would be volume and price. But just as a tool, I've got these symmetrical triangle here. This would be more of an intermediate to longer term symmetrical type of triangle. The near term triangle here I'm looking at is these are higher lows and kind of getting at resistance. Price is spending a lot of time at this upper level, more down to this lower level. So what price is telling me here is bullish, and the more it attacks the upper range, the more likelihood I think that it's going to break through these, this psychological 1900 is the ultimate level. So we'll see. Also looking at inverted head and shoulders, and I hear people talking about a head and shoulders here and inverted head and shoulders there. Really, it's not really anything to note until it breaks the neckline. Then when the neckline breaks, then I'd say, okay, now you've got a pattern in play. Otherwise, it's just a potential. And same with the ascending triangle and symmetrical triangles. Until it breaches this confirmation level, then there's really no pattern there. So if it breaks a neckline or if it breaks a confirmation, then I'll put measurements on it and say, okay, we have a pattern in play. Here is an interesting chart here. This is US dollar versus the S&P 500, and I'm just looking at how times change. We used to have a US dollar trading inverse to the S&P 500. Now it's correlating positive. And there's some interesting ideas on why that is. And this is the important thing. This is what I want to get into here is volume. I think this tells most of the story. We can see these tests of supply down here, down at this trend line that I've drawn. And the thing to note is, if there was supply present, if institutions are getting interested in lower prices, you wouldn't have. So let's see. Here's where price is now. Tested supply ended up Friday above midpoint. Okay. The previous low is here, and the previous low before that is here. So to me, that's an indication that the supply just isn't present. Okay, maybe not much demand at this upper value area. And Thursday we had this weird kind of doji ending up below midpoint, which was more or less foreshadowing, this supply test Friday. Volume is bullish to me. We've got some hidden divergence here with these higher lows with our oscillator. Nothing standing out in terms of huge volume, but when I'm looking at intraday volume, we can see Thursday had some stop volume come in. We're increasing to end the week. I think this is showing strength returning in a sideways market, and to me, a sideways market is bullish. Price is the ultimate clue here. Price isn't moving down. If price was moving down, it would be bearish. When you have price getting a foothold and finding base levels, which you can see here in the monthly composite, we have these TPOs, which are the highest amount of trading volume within the range of that month. We see our TPOs are getting higher. Price is finding a foothold. Yes, it's trading sideways, but that sideways is bullish. It's a correction in time rather than price. So when people say we need a correction, we are having a correction. Okay. Just it's a matter of perspective how you want to look at it. So monthly composite, the hourly, daily volume, it's all looking bullish to me. And you can see in our VIX is moving lower. Down in here in the no fear zone. Of course, the lower that goes, the more likelihood we'll see a little bit of volatility, but I don't think it'll be much to speak of. We have lower U.S. Treasuries, which is predominantly bullish for the markets. Of course, this is on declining volume, so I think we might see, overall, this is a bullish trend. Treasuries have been on the rise. They're taking a little relaxation, but I think that the stock market and treasuries can go up at the same time. It doesn't have to be an inverse. Same thing like we're seeing with the U.S. dollar. One of the more interesting here with U.S. Treasuries now is we have a good bullish reversal tweezer bottom here in the yield. So that's how much investors think risk-off assets are worth. When it comes to a low yield, it looks more attractive to stocks. Another thing to note here is we've had a bullish U.S. dollar, and since U.S. dollar is trading positive correlation to stocks, I think that's also a good sign. I think that a U.S. dollar and stocks should share equally, and if good news is good, they should both go up. Good news should be strong for U.S. dollar, and we're seeing a nice big stop volume candle here. I'm bullish on the U.S. dollar. I think there's plenty more room for the U.S. dollar to run, and the euro is moving lower, and I think it has a lot more room to fall. It's seen blow off the top volume. This This is previous sell climax volume, um, and usually you have less volume on a buying climax. Okay, and one of the things to note when you're talking about volume at higher prices is you should see lower volume at a higher price. That just makes sense to me. The more price moves down for the same dollar amount, you would see more volume. Okay, but we had to blow off the top. This is previous sell climax volume, and we're seeing that in buying climax. So that's a huge indication of interest in lower prices there for the euro versus the US dollar. Okay, what else do I have? I think we're going to keep it short and sweet here. You can find me at HotStockMarket.com. This is where you'll see my trading log, and I'll have all these images up here soon. Shout out here to Reddit, subreddit StockMarket. This is a good place to find information, and I will see you all on the boards.